Does your brand need an overhaul? Does your brand message feel dated? Or are you perhaps looking to expand to overseas markets and need a more globally relevant brand image? Or have you just merged with another company and need a rebranding exercise? The reason for rebranding or brand revitalizing could be many, but the key is to do it without alienating your current customers, your community. Today we're answering the question on every entrepreneur's mind: how do I make my brand relevant? So today we're going to look at rebranding. What is rebranding, and do you need to rebrand, or does your brand just need a rejuvenation? What's the difference and how can it help? If you would like more information on how you can upgrade your brand to the level of some of the Fortune 100 brands, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you something very special. I think you will just love it. So stick around to the end. You don't want to miss out on that. Rebranding is holistic. It's not just about design. Think about rebranding as a makeover. As you would change a hairstyle, try a new makeup palette, get yourself more trendy or stylish wardrobe, new suits. So what is with rebranding that makes us feel so different, while there is still something, a lot actually, that remains the same? There's a lot that a rebrand changes and refreshes, as well as a lot that it keeps the same. Just like the Dunkin Donut rebrand. What did they change and why? Firstly, the name is truncated from Dunkin Donuts to just Dunkin. After all, there are more things to dunk in your coffee than donuts, thank goodness. Anyone could have told them that. But here's where the money will scream at you if you don't first listen to those "anyone could have told you that" branding mistakes. None of Dunkin's top selling products are donuts. This is what happens when you brand small. You assume a small future, and then you need to rebrand to really reach that greater future that you started off with to begin with. The name Dunkin Donuts is basically off-brand. They sell more beverages and bagels by a factor. And this is much needed branding refresh. If you think about this, the font remains similar, and the fun colors, the pink and the orange, they also stay the same. So they're keeping that brand consistency, that lexicon language, that visual branding, but the name is now bigger, bolder, and more direct. And it's simpler too. In a crowded and complex world, simplicity works very well. The company also made a huge $100 million investment into modernizing and upgrading their stores. The idea behind the rebrand was to make it feel like an upgrade, and it does. So why rebrand? Do you need a rebrand? Sometimes rebranding becomes necessary because of changing public perception, health concerns, environmental issues, and so on. But now consider how we're all so environmentally conscious, which is a wonderful thing, rejecting overused plastics and straws whenever possible. When buying a new automobile, we may be even thinking about the electric vehicle and something that runs on renewable energy. This isn't just trendy, it is now how new consciousness that drives behavior. So it was that British Petroleum changed to Beyond Petroleum to reflect changed sensibilities. For most, they're just BP. Fossil fuels are no longer even mentioned. Another one closer at home was Weight Watchers, which became Wellness That Works. They switched one from WW to another WW. They turned their orientation from weight loss to health gain, right? More on brand, more with the times. Needed rebrand. They were shedding that negative thought processing and embracing something much more positive for their brand community. This was the time when body positivity movement was really gaining steam, and this rebrand effectively tied into that change. Weight had become a loaded word, and with WW was shifting away from that and all that implied. They shed the negativity associated with losing weight or forced dieting and expanded themselves to align with the positivity of becoming healthier and happier in one's own skin. Each of these, the rebranding wasn't just cosmetic alone. This is the sort of rebranding that changes the orientation, the whole focus of the company. It changes, in fact, the brand promise, which can come at a very hefty price when you don't brand right from the start. So rebranding or revitalizing, what is right for your brand? For the brands I just spoke of, the rebranding was vital. It was almost a do or die because the old brand was just so incongruous and out of pace with the times, even politically incorrect. However, for most brands, a full rebrand is unnecessary. A complete rebranding exercise is like going back to the drawing board and changing absolutely everything. When most businesses are looking to gain some visibility and renewed interest in the brand, a revitalization process is really the need of the hour. This retains the gains your brand has made over the years, but it overlays it with a new sheen and engages anew with the customers. When you talk about revitalizing your brand, you retain the core of what your brand stands for. Over time, a brand can start to feel a little tired or dated or somewhat, hazy. The familiarity of a favorite pair of jeans is good. But sometimes you want to get yourself a new outfit that catches the eye and makes your friends go, hey, that's new, let me check that out. Similarly, over time, a brand's identity and all its unique characteristics, its brand promise becomes diluted. When you are revitalizing your brand, you present it anew to your ideal audience. You've dug it out from the mothballs, lovingly cleaned it, and once again, you want to tell people how your brand promises a greater future for them. It's a new brand message. It's something new to shout about, to get written about, to be talked about. There's something new going on, an evolution within your brand. It's exciting, and you're calling attention to it. Equally, you're stressing the core values of your brand, which remain familiar, so therefore reassuring and unchanged. Right? Brand consistency is your business plan. So that sense of belonging in a brand doesn't change. But like a refurbished home, your brand is a joy to belong in once again. If people have been forgetting it a little, taking a little bit like maybe for granted, they're now noticing it again and paying attention to it. So here's a case study. The Keep case study is useful in studying brand revitalizing. And reinvention in a sense. So back in 2001, it started out as Infusionsoft. Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with it. An email marketing and sales platform for small businesses that offered e-commerce, customer relationship management services, and the like. In January 2019, they became Keep. This was done, and I just went Keep because my partner's wearing the t-shirt right now. This was done in step with another platform change that widened the client's base to non-tech experienced businesses as well. The smaller modified name was reflected in the smaller, simplified variants of the apps that the company was now offering. Keep was the launch of smart client management software for small businesses, helping save time and avoid the tedium of repetitive tasks. It was meant to keep up with clients and leads while keeping you on track. Older products continue to be offered under the refreshed brand called Infusionsoft by Keep. So they offer something new while keeping people connected to the old and familiar as well. Neat. It's not so new that customers find it scarily new, and it's new enough that new customers are now interested, attracted to the new launched product with a smart, short name. So how do you refresh and revitalize your brand without losing your customers? The first step is to identify what is most valuable and beloved about your brand identity. What is it that makes your brand instantly recognizable? Is it the name, the font, the color scheme, the logo, the tagline? What is it they trust most about your brand? What is it that people love most about you? Or on the flip side, what is it that is now looking and feeling a little dated? What needs to change to fit the changed requirements of the time? A new aesthetic, a new lifestyle, a new technology, a new innovation, a new cultural conversation? Don't assume, just ask. Make an assessment based on what company management, employees, and your customers have to say. And don't think about the short term. That's where we get caught up. Think about where you see your brand in 10 years. This is the significant exercise, and you want to prevent your brand's refurbishment from looking dated again over the next decade. You can't undertake a rebrand or a brand revitalization exercise every couple of years or even every few years. This is disorienting. It's too rapid. The changes can seem like you're untrustworthy, and trust is the only currency in any relationship, especially when creating brand loyalty. So the first step is to make a short list of the possible benefits of a brand revitalization and a cost-benefit analysis. Do you need this? Has your brand become a wee bit boring? And do you need to call attention to it again? Once you decide that things need to change, the second step is to decide upon what needs to change, what needs to remain the same. You don't want to do anything that erodes your brand's value. You want to do what will add to your brand's value. Identify the vision you have for your brand. Do you see yourself expanding into new territories, expanding into offering new products? If so, your brand needs to reflect this, like Dunkin Donuts into Dunkin. Then start with an internal assessment. This is the third step. Clarify the brand strategy and the direction you envision for your business in the times to come. What do your employees think about the proposed changes? They will give you the most informed feedback about the scale and direction you're going in. A thorough internal assessment is vital before you reveal your ideas to the outside. And step 4, engage a design team for the aesthetic and the cosmetic changes that you want to bring about. Create online promotions that send out the message and create a buzz around your new look and feel of your brand. So right now, ask yourself a few questions. And here's a checklist that will help you understand what changes you need to make and how drastic they need to be. Does your market fulfill the current needs of your customers and of the marketplace? How good does your logo look on a mobile site, for instance? Does your ideal audience perceive your brand the way you want it to be perceived, the way your story is being told? Are you aiming for casual, high-end, accessible, exclusive, trendy, classic, homespun? Does your messaging effectively communicate your brand's values or your brand's story? Is it clear? Is it consistent? Is it interesting? How does your brand compare and measure with other comparable brands in the marketplace? Do they have something you need in your brand? What is that? What do you think the whole exercise of revitalizing will yield for your brand? What are your business goals? And this will help or hinder in the process. Will this branding revitalization help or hinder your brand's goals? You and your organization may well have the resources and talent to take this process forward, but it may be a good idea to bring professionals on board, people who have designing talent, marketing experience, and the insight that will help truly elevate your brand and give it the visibility for the sort of results you really want. It isn't just a new logo. It isn't just a new tagline. It isn't just the change of the layout of a landing page. It isn't just one new kind of campaign messaging or PR promotional events. It's the combination of all of this and more. So do you need to rebrand or revitalize? Click the link in the description to learn to do it like the Fortune 100 brands are doing. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe. I release new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, so you can treat them as your own masterclass in branding to become an inspiration to millions. And as always, that starts with our motto: love what you do and love how you do it. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll love.